AoC Meeting number 25. Back-to-back meeting uploads, cause I was late uploading 24, and there was only a week between 24 and 25 this time around, instead of the normal 2 weeks. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with Bitey's topic. He wanted to talk about both Io's ultimate and her stun, as well as Victor's life rip card and Khan's vortex grip. He brought up how Io's ult is still clunky to use, since it can often clip or impact surfaces. Some of you may remember the 2019 AoC brought this up a while ago. The dev response isn't really any different from then. They don't love how the ultimate turned out, but fixing its clipping problems would require fixing the geometry on a lot of older maps. They aren't really able to fix the older maps to that level at the moment. Bitey also brought up the stun and how it'd be nice to have a visual indicator that tells you when Luna's stun is ready. This is something that is already in the game. You can see the symbol at the bottom left of your screen. Bitey recommended moving it to somewhere more noticeable, like on top of Luna's ability icon. Next was Victor's Predator card and how it can use a nerf, since it is a ton of self-sustain and it is pushing Vic a bit over the top. This was something I had as part of my topic too, but I don't like doubling up on topics, so I end up skipping it later on, cause no need to talk about it twice. The dev said that if Victor of all characters feels like he's becoming a bit of a problem, then that means that the game is in a pretty good place for balance. So they do like him being prominent in the meta. They're gonna take a bit more time to evaluate him and look at it close to Update 5. Bitey also wanted to follow up on the Khan Vortex Grip nerf. The devs are currently looking at taking a second off the stun. They feel like the lockout on Khan's grip isn't long enough to justify a 2-second stun. Bitey also wanted to talk about possibly messing with Storm of Bullets by giving it a minigun ramp-up effect, where the longer you hold down the fire button, the faster you fire. The devs don't really want to do that to Storm of Bullets cause they recently added that effect through Rom's weapon. They also like to avoid fundamentally messing with a character's primary weapon for the sake of identity. Next is Z1 Unknown's topic about some Bomb King card balance and some things with other cards that you'll see in a second. He recommended taking away Royal Decree's stacking effect, and the devs have already gone and done this in their dev client. I do want to say that personally, while I do think that this nerf will reduce Bomb King's constant damage uptime, flat reload speed cards are rarely ever used because they're not worth the loadout points. In BK's case, it'd be 5 loadout points for 25% reload speed, where 250 credits would do that with deft hands anyway. So I feel like Royal Decree will basically never be worth running again. I think the devs would be better off reworking it into something else, honestly. Z1 also brought up nerfing King Court's heal so it only activates on player hits. This way players won't spam as much to get the heal. The other option was to lower the heal value itself. The devs agree that this card could probably use a nerf. Now Z1 also brought up a lot of cards that proc on barriers and deployables so the devs can fix them. I'm gonna put the list on screen for the sake of time. You can pause it and take a look if you want to. The devs do want to look through this list and get most of these fixed. However, there are some that are intended to work the way they do, like Reckless Barrage. Next is my topic. I had Vic's lifesteal card, like I said, Lex's Screen Shake, Willow's Dead Zone, and Zhin's alt hitbox. Skipping over Vic, let's go to Lex. So Lex's base weapons knock your screen around a ton. No other weapon in the game moves your screen around to this degree, and it's pretty jarring. It wasn't always like this either. From what I've looked up, this happened when Def Hastens was added. The Screen Shake is of course there to simulate recoil, and on Def Hastens it's fine since you fire slow. Feels normal. But on his base weapon, it's crazy. So I recommended reducing it so it isn't so jarring for players. The devs said they had something similar come up with Talus. They'd basically have to get the animation team to look into this, and it's something they do want to fix with Talus and Lex when they get the opportunity to. As for Willow, I recommended giving Dead Zone a different anti-heal color on the health bar so it sticks out more from regular Cauterize, like a gray instead of a light green. The devs think it's a good idea, but they're worried about making the game too visually noisy for players. They'd be more inclined to do it if more characters had 100% anti-heals. I also brought up how Dead Zone goes through stuff like Billow, Magic Barrier, and Shadow Step. It didn't always do this, and I wanted to see if this was a bug or not. The devs said that it is a bug, and they do want to get it fixed. Dead Zone is not supposed to affect abilities that make you untargetable. Then for Zhin, I was sent this clip. That's right, Ult hit that poor Makoa through the wall. Zhin's ult hitbox is so big that it clipped through the window to hit the Koa. I bet most of you have been sucked up from 5 feet away or around a wall by Zhin ult. It's not a good feeling, especially when the Zhin is running guillotine, so I recommended reducing its massive hitbox. The devs said that they are going to review Zhin's ult hitbox. They want to get it to a place where it doesn't go around or through walls and windows. Next up is Couch's topic about balance for Lex, Skye, Talus, Grohk, and Terminus. He wants Lex to be able to combat slide in the air, and for his mark to never reselect the same target. The devs mostly agree. They still need to test how Lex combat sliding in the air would feel though. They agree with it as long as it looks fine visually, but it is possible the animation could break. When it comes to his mark, they want to make it so that it'll select the closest target to you so it's not random. For Skye, he recommended making smokescreen and hidden more different, like making smokescreen block line of sight like how it used to, or making it so hidden lets you climb walls or gives you a grappling hook. The devs said that they removed that effect on smokescreen because it caused performance problems, especially on the Switch. They're pretty hesitant to rework anything on Skye. They don't think reworking an ability will get her into a better spot. Also, when they think about characters that deserve a light rework the most, they think of Torvald more than Skye, so the resources would go to him instead of her. As for Talus, he recommended making it so Talus's overcharge does less DPS, but his base weapon does more. So overcharge would be the same as it is now, but his primary would be more consistent. The devs think that's something they could consider, but they're worried about Talus being better on console, since he's of course already a problem there. They feel that anything but a nerf to Talus would be taken negatively by console players. For Grohk, he recommended increasing his totem healing, since a lot of players are saying heal Grohk is really weak. The devs said that Grohk is on their list to receive some love in the near future. They're messing with a couple of ideas for him right now. They'll give us an update on that at a later date. For Terminus, he recommended giving him some DR or an immunity state after ulting so he doesn't instantly die. The devs said that Terminus is a very powerful character. He only goes down to normal win rates at higher elo. His ult is very powerful against the lower skill players, so they are hesitant to make his ult more powerful since it's already capable of wiping teams. They think Terminus is in a really good spot right now. Next is Yago's topic about balance for Seris. He recommended that they make it so Mortal Rage doesn't make you heal for another second anymore, and instead increases the amount of healing you do with your base heal. This way you aren't locked into a heal for so long to get more healing. The devs said that they do like the idea and it is something they've been thinking about for a while now. They're going to discuss the idea further internally. He also recommended that they basically put Agony in the base kit. He said give Ren's soul a 1-second stun when enemies have 4 orbs on them. The devs said they want to be careful with stuns. They don't mind them, but they don't want to toss them into too many base kits. They also rather make Seris better at other things rather than giving her what other characters have. Next is Libra's topic about mastery rewards. Libra recommended that when you get a character to level 40, you get an avatar of that character. This could be a cutesy avatar, or even just their portrait as an avatar. Libra also recommended that at level 100, you get a fun title like a Mani 1 trick. They said the title thing would be pretty easy if they were to do it, but the avatar thing really depends on the amount of work it would take, and they're going to figure that out first before giving a hard answer. Libra also asked if more characters could get their mastery poses and emotes. The devs said they were very expensive to make and not many players used them, so they likely won't be picking them back up. Libra also asked if they could make it so playing for 1 year gets you a title called the Veteran. The devs do want to look into possibly adding a nice 1-year loyalty reward. Next is Gabinet's topic about nerfing Bomb King's Jolt card and your account resetting when you log into Steam after logging into Epic. He said that Jolt still sends players back a long way even with Resil 3, and it could use a nerf to go better with the new 60% Resil. The devs said that they can't take a look at the numbers, but they do like that players have a fun knockback build for casuals. If they decide to nerf it, they want to be careful with doing so because they still want the playstyle to be fun. Gabinet also brought up how after logging into Epic, some players get requests to make a new name when going back to Steam. This is not an account reset, it's them making sure what you want your name to be. You can put your old name in there if you want and you'll be fine. And that's it, that's all the topics. Like always, if you have any feedback, feel free to leave it in the comments below. And that's pretty much it, guys. I want to thank y'all for watching, I very much appreciate it, and I'm gonna see you guys later. Bye.